start with an opening statement from Coach Ballard, followed by questions for the players. After the questions, the players we'll let the players go, and we'll open up for questions with the coach. The floor is now open.
First statement I'd like to make is that, being somebody from down south, before I went to Winona, I did not know anything about it, but something that all of you down here need to understand and correct lingo-wise, it's Winona. It's not Winona. And I don't know how long we're going to stay here, but I'm hoping that people will remember, who we are, where we came from, and how you say our town and school's name. We played it some before Christmas. We practiced it some against some of our non-conference teams. We really have not been in a position with a big deficit this entire season where we needed to rely on it. So I would have to say that is the first time this season that we've used it as part of a game plan to try to help you win a game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't know if it's necessarily ditching, but it was fun to mix something up, and I think it caught them off guard, which turned in to a positive cycle for us. And I don't know, it was fun because we got to try something new, and it worked really well. So I'm glad that we put it in there, and I like it that it shows us that we can do things necessarily that we don't have or we've had practice, throughout the week. And so I like that because it shows us, we're capable of a lot of things, and this is just the beginning, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really practice it a ton, but it's cool to see that our team can just adapt and use something and have it be effective in a really big way in a huge game. So it was really cool. Honestly, it was just kind of what does the team need right now? And I wasn't really thinking about it. It just kind of came. So that's when I know that it's what the team needs, is when I'm not thinking about it, not trying to force anything. And my teams are awesome, just getting open looks. And I think we handled their pressure pretty well. I mean, the first half was a little bit more shaky, but then once we really got comfortable in it, we were getting better looks, so there was better shots. So that's how I was able to really get good shots.
Yeah, Tara's a great player. She knows what's a good shot and what's a bad shot, and even if she misses a couple, she's gonna keep shooting, and that's what makes her so good. Some players will kind of stop shooting or lose their confidence, and we can't, at this point in the season, we can't afford to have a player like Tara lose that confidence, and so she was hitting those buckets, and she's just got to continue to let it fly.
Did you guys sense that you needed something extra today with Alexis sick and limited and Kayla? It just seemed like everybody kind of had something going on. Did you sense that you guys needed to rise up?
Right. I think we came out probably a little slower than we wanted to in the first half, but I think it came from the heart. And I know people were yelling that in the stands, play from your heart. And I think, honestly, that's just what happened is Foley and Timmerman were doing their best, given their illnesses and whatever. And I think the rest of us just knew we wanted it. And so, we have to make up that slack. And, yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I think the bench gave us a ton of energy, too. It's we could focus on the fact that we don't have them or that everyone's sick or this or that, but in the end, that doesn't matter. It's just how hard are you going to play with what you're given right now. So it was cool that our bench was able to give us so much energy, and then we started feeding off each other.
I don't want to get you in trouble here, but the first time you were called for an offensive foul.
Yeah, I don't know what really that was, but it's whatever.
None of us know what that was.
Yeah.
Did that kind of take the wind out of your sails a little bit? Made that push and then...
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. We really try to focusing on the next play, and I think, that was kind of just what is that? But It's all right. Tara hit a big shot after that, I think. So.
I think it kind of gave us a little fire. It was like,
Yeah.
no, that's like our play. Like, you can't take that away from us. And so then it was like, no, we got to go get this. We got to fight for it. So
Yeah.
I think it honestly pushed us even more.
Yeah, I think it probably gave us more of a little spark.
Yeah, I was
so
like,
I'm glad they called it actually. So.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We have time for about one more question. If you have any more questions? Good, girls, you guys.
Thank
Go,
you.
ladies.
Floor for questions, Coach Ballard.
Thank you.
Coach, coming out of halftime, what was your message to the team?
Our message was to realize that what they were trying to do to us was, play in your space, and you can't just run stuff where you're trying to reverse the ball because we were picking the dribble up too quick, and then they were smothering us there. Then the people without the ball weren't moving well enough to create separation, and so they made us uncomfortable in the second quarter. And then we just said, we have to start driving the ball, and we also told our post people they needed to toughen up a little bit. But main thing was getting lane touches, either with dribble drives or post-up opportunities. But we never planned on playing without Foley in the first half, and that's basically what happened with foul trouble. She only played 6 minutes, and it goes to show how important she is to our team in transition, in playmaking ability, and creating things for herself and her teammates.
How much of this is just survival? I mean, anything like throw something against the wall, see what works.
Well, we practiced the buzz this past week leading up to this with the idea that we might actually have to use it in parts of some of these games. And but we were forced into relying on it the entire second half because we got behind 13 points at one time. But I think it's a credit to the basketball IQ of our kids and understanding adjustments. Both teams played extremely hard. I felt like their shot selection deteriorated in the second half, especially when it got tight. And they took some low percentage shots. And then once we got into a position where we had to lead and we didn't turn it over, we made our free throws, we finished the game and kept the pressure on them. But I'm proud of our kids for their perseverance, their faith in each other, and just playing for the next play, the next possession. As long as you got time to make a play and give yourself a chance, don't worry about negative things that had happened. And I've seen, I thought Tara grew up a lot tonight. Connor was making reference to her shot making ability. She may not have received any accolades in conference because she's kind of overshadowed by Connor and Alexis and Kayla, but she's potentially that caliber of a player.
I mean, that was you needed that. Like,
You think?
You
Yeah.
needed everything that she
Yeah.
gave you. I mean,
Yeah.
even though she was happy.
Yeah. Well, what I liked is she wasn't hesitant. She hit a step back three over there in the baseline corner. She hit a couple threes back to back, and then we got her a quick rest, but we weren't going to keep her out very long.
Only 2 turnovers, and that's kind of an issue sometimes.
Well, we tell her shoot it before you lose it, because she has a tendency if she dribbles too much, it's going to be counterproductive.
The buzz is what you call it, so.
Well, I'm not the originator of that, but most people refer to it as the buzz, and we have a different name for it just to try to make ourselves feel good about it. But it helped us tremendously tonight.
Got time for one more question.
What does it mean to you to come back to, we talked about this area, the area where you got your coaching started, show yourself some familiar faces?
Well, I did see a lot of familiar faces in the stands, and have received a lot of phone calls and text messages, and it's neat. It's cool, but the coolest part about the whole thing is that they showed up here to watch a really good women's D2 college basketball game, and I think they got their money's worth.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations and best of luck in the next round.
Appreciate it. Thank you.